pain-stricken lives of suffering humanity. It dispels all the sins and misdeeds of life. It brings spiritual welfare in life. The spiritual beauty, prosperity and grace spreads through and to one who listens to your holy message. They are the real givers in the world who preach and pronounce the nectar of your holy message to the suffering humanity. Om, peace, peace, peace. So, we are back to our reading of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. We are on page 866, and Sri Ramakrishna was at the Sampakur house, and Dr. Sarkar came to meet him, and that conversation was going on. It is a continuation, and Girish is also there, and the doctor is there. They both get into argument now and then because both are highly educated people of the modern time and experienced their wisdom through learning through this Western education. So they have their doubts, but Girish believes after seeing Ramakrishna that he is God himself, but Dr. Sarkar does not accept that. Why are you making a good man by pampering, saying that he is avatar or he is God? You are spoiling that guy, no? He's a good guy, but you are spoiling by saying that he is an avatar or he is an incarnation. You did not have to do. And that's his view. And also it is a really big doubt in the mind of the Sarkar that how a human, ordinary man, as you see, crying, weeping, his health problem is coming, no? His hand is breaking when he fell down. How he will be God? It's unnecessarily you are making a good person little mad by pampering all these wonderful adjectives behind his life. So that was the context that was going on. And now we have come to that point where Sri Ramakrishna said last time, when the master, the doctor said, talking about the physicians, there are a good type of gurus also. Three types of gurus, he told Ramakrishna. That one type of guru is that, hey, give the mantra and go. Finish, whatever you do. They don't never get any inquiry back. And they don't keep in touch with the in devotees. Another inquiry, hey, are you practicing? What did you do? Did you do it? You should have to do. Just like a loving father, just convinces him, no, I cannot get time. No, get time, make a time, like that. They will be insisting on that. And there is the best guru is that, what? Do it in front of me. Like Brahmananda and others, no? He used to ask his disciples, he will get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, by 3:30 he is ready. All other monks, mostly are his disciples, will have to come and meditate with him. You cannot escape. I am meditating in my room. In my room, what you are meditating or sleeping, who knows? So he used to insist them, come and sit with me here. So this is called the best doctor. That as the doctors in early days, doctors used to give some pill, now we have capsules. So you don't feel the sour taste of the medicine. But that time they used to pour in the tongue. And who wants to eat all this food with medicine which is not taste to the taste, no? So they won't take. Then the doctors say, what? Have to take it. They force and put him. So this is the guru also, three types, who puts pressure on the student and say, no, you will have to do this. Why not? You do this in front of me. You will have to sit, come and do all this. So this and that, last time we read. The renunciation, and then he came to the question of renunciation. Renunciation of lust and gold is meant for total renunciation, because everyone, that's a mistake. People always think I need to be a monk or I need to be a nun. Not necessary. There are paths. From the ancient time, pravritti and nivritti. There are two ways. Shreyascha, preyascha, manushyameto. So Shreya and Preya both comes. But this is also a road, a very, very well-defined journey to reach God. And so greatest example are the Upanishads. Upanishads are the stories written by whom? They are all by the householders. All the rishis means married people. They have lived their life and did all their duties and scaled and overcome that Maya spell. And they become the greatest teachers. We are reading, Upanishad means we are reading what they have experienced, their experience. So it is not restricted to the monastery. But some may choose to be this path, some may choose to be that path. So here it says, but the renunciation means in the sannyasin's renunciation is necessary, but the renunciation is not meant for householders like you. He's talking to him and also to master, the doctor, Sarkar. It is meant only for sannyasins. You may live among women as far as possible in a spirit of detachment. Now and then you must retire into solitude and think of God. And you can lead an unattached life to a great extent if you have faith in God and love for Him. So what he is emphasizing, it is not necessary that you should have to have a sannyasa, monastic vows outside, your mind should be detached. And the whole teaching of the Bhagavad Gita, how to live and feel detached, be in the world but not get attached. Do your duties as ordinary people will see that, oh, he's like us, performing all the activities. But internally, you are doing for God. So how to think of God? As we think of God more, what happens? We less think of the other things. Mind is the 1 unit of mind. No, say 100 unit of mind. If I give 100 unit of mind, our mind is distracted in so many things. When you are meditating, what happens? Maybe 10% of the mind or even 1% of the mind may be in meditation, and 90% mind roams around on different other issues. So our meditation is that type of meditation which says, no, that's why we don't get joy in meditation. No? It is a struggle. But if the mind is concentrated and gets into it, and then they feel so much joy inside, they will not go to the outside. That's the renunciation. Renunciation should be spontaneous. Renunciation means not negative. Renunciation is always positive. You get a job of 100,000, you give up the job of 60,000. You don't feel the pain, oh, I'll have to give up this job of 60,000. Why? You get an offer of 100,000. So that question does not arise. So, but if I am to give up that 60,000 and get nothing, then there is a problem. No. Even I am in deep trouble, I will have to do that job till I get something more. But it should be something more, no less. So that is renunciation, means to attempt for higher things, for a greater joy, more joy, permanent joy, endless joy, versus the joy which is giving the momentary. So detachment for these temporary things or less joyful to the more joyful. So that is called renunciation. Renunciation is positive. It is hoping you got it or you are hoping to get it. All the people, suppose those who become a monk, so because they become a monk and then they got everything. What is the difference between I was a boy in the outside world and I enter into this center? This partition wall creates a difference. It is the mind. unless mind turns towards God, that is no renunciation. That means, in another way, love for God, intense love for God, is real renunciation. See how positive it is. But we have always the thinking, renunciation means giving up. And giving up is always painful. Why shall I give up? I have little something and I'll give up that much. Yeah, you should not be losing that if you know you are striving for the higher, the greater and best. Nalpi sukhamasti bhumayeva sukham. That is the Upanishad says. There is no happiness in alpa. And happiness is in immortality. Happiness is in bhuma. Bhuma tu eva vijigyasasya. Therefore, oh, you, my child, the student, the teacher is saying, you ask for bhuma, which is endless, infinite, absolute. So, search for absolute, seeking for absolute, and attempting to reach that and give up other things for that purpose, that is called renunciation. That's a positive. We give some simple example. A student is now giving up his play, friendship, going not to party and all these things. Why? Because examination. Every student become renunciate. When? When examination nears close. When you all people, even in your other activity you are busy, but when your, what you call, deadline comes, where is you renounce everything. You renounce your sleep, you renounce your food. That time having someone gives the food, I have no time to eat that, I will have to finish it now. Deadline time. So it is not negative, not negative, not negative. It is always the positive, positive, positive. So point is to be understood this way, that the real renunciation is real love for God. Intense love for God is intense renunciation. Otherwise there is a saying, the monna rangaye, basan rangaye, kibul korile yogi. There is a Bengali proverb that, oh yogi, what a mistake you have done. What mistake? Monna rangaye, without coloring your mind in gerua, in the ochre cloth, fire cloth color, detachment, you have colored your outer dress. What a mistake you did. That means, all these are indicating what is renunciation. Renunciation is not to gerua cloth, gerua dye, you can get it. Within $1 you can purchase, and all the cloth can be made dyed with gerua. And if that is, we use it, that does make anyone renunciate? No, renunciation, the heart should be purified. Heart should be touching God and bending towards, and it will have no... So he says, they live in the world. Do your duties there. Only mentally. Love everyone. But detach. This is beautiful. When a great struggle is there. Love, detached love. Oh my God, what is that? This language is so confusing. He said, you love, detached love. Love everything, but don't get attached. How can I do that? Our normal idea comes, I love means I am attached. I think of him, day and night I think of him, and that should be my love, expression of love. But no, you love as the spark of God in him, or heart, no? So, what is inside, that's also inside there. So, Atman and Atman. Even the marriage vows are what? That which is inside here, Jadidam Hridayam Mama, Tadidam Hridayam Tapa. They are not describing how you look outwardly. What is in the heart, that Atman here and the Atman there. There is a marriage. Atman to Atman. So this is the highest ideal in... So that is called renunciation. So love will be there, not for the other aspect, which is changeable aspect of personality. Our personality has two aspects. One is eternal perspective, another is the momentary changing perspective of it. Changing perspective, body is changing, mind is changing, emotion, intellect, understanding, ego. Every split second it is changing. But what does not change? That is the Atman. And in there is the connection with the whole world. And what the question of pain? So we start, household life start, okay, you cannot think of identification with all, start with your wife, start with your husband, start with your child, thinking that is a connection. Whatever I am doing for my sake, because myself is there. Not the external. External thing comes, and then that is within the level of Maya, we are getting into it, ignorance, and in the lens of that mind, all trouble generates there. But we'll have to work. What can we do? We are in the body-mind level. So the idea is that the spirit of renunciation is the question, and Sri Ramakrishna is suggesting that you should lead an unattached life to a great extent if you have faith in God and love for Him. So God will make your path easy. If you really pray to God, if you really love God. After the birth, and then he says that for household life will be ideal if the birth of 1 or 2 children, a married couple should live like a brother and sister. They should then constantly pray to God that their minds may not run after sense pleasures, and more that they may not have any more the attachment to things. No? So pray to God, pray to God, pray to God. And that's why ideal life is that where husband and wife are in the same journey. And if both of them are God-centered, they can help each other. So then someone is a little lazy. Someone says, no, come. We'll have to sit for meditation now. This is our time for meditation. So each can help each other in this joint journey. It is a journey to the infinite. So that is the advice of Sri Ramakrishna. He does not ask anyone to give up the household life and be a monk. It is not necessary. Everyone should grow according to their tendency. No. If a boy has a tendency to be a philosopher and you put math on him, what happens? It's a torture, no? He may be good, he may get a good grade and everything, but his struggle is more because it is not his path. But if you give his path, and he relishes that study and also makes a real mark in his life. So this is the point. We have also similar tendencies. Which one have, we should have to exercise those tendencies and mature ourselves through that tendency. So you have a bhakti tendency. Okay, you nurture yourself with bhakti. You have a jnana tendency. Okay, utilize yourself. Main thing to reach the goal. How, what process you are following, that's up to you. But Guru can help us, or teachers can guide us to make a blending of all these things together. Girish, you have already spent 3 or 4 hours here. What about your patients? Now, Dr. Sarkar was very demanding doctor of that time, very well-famed doctor for his... so he comes to see Ramakrishna like a patient, to see the patient. But he forgets. That's why he said, Girish Ghosh said, you are sitting before Ramakrishna, you are such a busy guy, what about your business? Patient, looking after the patient. What about... you are already spent here 3 or 4 hours with Ramakrishna. And what about your patients? Then doctor says, well, my practice, my patients, I shall lose everything on account of your Paramahamsa. This Paramahamsa possessed me in such a way that I will lose my all professional things, my patients and everything. Then he says that, Master, to the doctor, there is such a thing as love for love's sake. It is very good if one can grow such love. Prahlada loved God for the sake of love alone. A devotee like Prahlada says, "O God, I do not want wealth, fame, creature comforts, or any such things. Please grant me the boon that I may have genuine love for thy lotus feet." So he's teaching us how the one person should get involved into the practice in spiritual life. The love God, as Christ said, no? Love thy Lord with thy heart and soul, or what is that? With all thy heart, all thy might, all thy strength, no? So the same thing, love God with full heart, with your all intention, with all because He is the only goal, only purpose of life. Why? Because that is reality, and all else is changing, means that's unreal. So unreal does not mean hallucination. You have to understand. This table is not hallucination. I am seeing it, I am touching it. But it is not real in the sense because it is changeable. It is changing, becoming old. 1 day old, 2 days old, 3 days old, it is 5 days, 5 years, 10 years. Then one day it will crumble into dust. So in that sense it is unreal. And therefore, think this way, so what is that real? We call God. So he says, there is such thing for love. We have to learn love for love's sake. Very high idea. Love for love's sake is rare in the world, no? And the spiritual people can love for love's sake. Ramakrishna used to love all the young children, young boys coming to him. Vivekananda, Brahmananda, Premananda, Sarvadevananda, all these young boys are coming. And love was tremendous love. Ramakrishna will be crying if sometime he does not find Naren, the young boy, not visiting him. He will send somebody. He will go himself to see him. It's an attachment, no? That was question. That you love, and Naren himself challenged. Naren was an open sword. So he said that Ramakrishna looking at, your condition will be like Bharat Raja, the King Bharat. What the King Bharata did? He loved a deer, his pet deer. A king has a pet deer. And he loved him so much, no? Always stayed with him. And when he died, his mind was thinking of the deer. And he was born next life as a deer. So Ramakrishna loved Naren. Naren challenged, your love is like that. You are thinking of me, you will die, then you will be like me. What is the purpose of your life then? He is alarming Ramakrishna that you are thinking of. But that what Ramakrishna said? Do you think that I love you because of your good-looking boy? Ma has shown me. Mother has shown me who you are. I love because I love see Narayana in you. The day I will not see Narayana, I will not be able to look at your face. I see Narayana manifested with full power. Narayana is everywhere. But here is the brightest manifestation. That's why I love you. Because you are so pure and is so noble, and you have the ability to catch hold of the spiritual ideal. That's why I love you. There is one beautiful statement one day. Ramakrishna is talking to his Baburama and others. Oh, Baburam, please could you tell me why I am so much attached to all? You boys, you are so penniless boys, you have no money, you cannot give me a little anything to eat. You have no wealth and prosperity to give me some support from any other. Even you have no torn mat that I go to you and you will spread over to make me sit. Still I love you. Why? Do you know? Why I love you? This is love, it's a pure love. This is called a pure love. I do not know anything, but I love you. Love has different categories. First love is love for myself. That's called selfish love. All for myself. I don't care for you. You eat or you don't eat. I should have my food. You dress well or not, it's not my business. My room should be well heated and well furnished. You fill out. My car will be the best car, not yours. So I love you, but this is the love. This one is for centered all around me and mine. No. Another better love is that I love you, you love me. So I do this for you, you do return to this me. It's a give and take. Like it is shopkeeper's love. Shopkeeper, you go with $100 and you purchase $200 material and give $100 note. Will they give you out of love? Yes, I'll give you, use the credit card now. Pay me off. I have given you $100 material, you pay me $100 back. No? That's another better love. We say give and take. Another love is, the highest love is going, whatever you do, I do not know, I love you. Aslishya, that's why we chant in the morning every day, Sri Chaitanya's prayer. Aslishya vapadharatang pinastu yatha tatha va vidadhatu lampata. Oh Krishna, oh Lord, you can embrace me or you can torment me under your feet. I don't care for anything. You are my everything. Oh Lord, I am yours. So that is the highest love. Yatha tatha va. Whatever you do, it is your business. But I cannot do anything but love you. So that is the pure love. Srimati, Radharani, their love is called, they are considered highest because Radharani never thought of herself. But she is thinking of Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. How she will be happy, how he will make him happy. But everything for Krishna. That Krishna, the Lord of the universe. No? This is called the very pure love. Untainted by any selfish ends. That's why in this chanting, morning chant we say, untainted by any selfish ends. No selfish end. I love you, bas, finish. What you do is your business. I cannot stop but love you. And no expectation. That is the ideal. Satu Parama Prema Rupa. In the Bhakti Shastra, Narada says, what is that bhakti? Love is Satu, that bhakti, but that bhakti is Parama Prema Rupa. It is a prema, ecstatic love, love of the highest degree, which does not want anything. And how it comes? Abhabrito bhajanat. You think of God day and night, day and night, day and night. What will happen? Your mind will be pure. And that unflinching love for God will come. That is the process to reach your unconditional love. So we are conditional love because we live in that level. But how to transcend that? That's why Narada says, Abhabrito bhajanat.
So unconditional love only is possible for God, not for human.
No, I understand, but you can...
In human relationship, you cannot have unconditional love. Then you become the doormat.
No. Ramakrishna and Holy Mother, are they a doormat? Are they doormat? No one doormat. Ramakrishna is worshipping her. Holy Mother is the mother of the universe. And Mother is saying, oh Ramakrishna, you know what is his ideal? Ideal of renunciation, ideal of detachment. That is unparalleled. He never hurt me, even striking a flower towards me. What the question of harsh word. One day, that story, what is her name? says, going, mother brought some food for Ramakrishna, and silently Ramakrishna was in ecstatic mood. So he left the food and silently going and going to the door. And Ramakrishna came to know that someone's niece, probably his niece, Lakshmi, has brought the food. So he said, okay, close the door. As we address, senior address to the junior. This, they, what is Hindi you say? Tu the daraja ka tu band kar de. So tu, and but Ramakrishna said, yes. And now Holy Mother said yes. And when he could understand that Holy Mother's voice, he felt so embarrassed, Ramakrishna, and he said that next morning he went to Holy Mother's door and knocked, and see, I could not sleep whole night. Why I have told you too? I didn't understand, please forgive me. I was begging apology for saying. Mother said, I never thought of anything. Well, no, I thought that is a niece, that Lakshmi, she has brought the food, and I didn't understand. So, only one word, little, who is the nothing. Affectionately also, we talk to our mom. Tu de. Tu. They also to our mom, because very intimate relationship. But Ramakrishna is so embarrassed, and he went an apology, and I could not sleep whole night. Why did I use this harsh word? So, Sambhav. When purity of the heart comes, everything is possible. But in our state, we are far away, that's why we think that is impossible. But that can be, as the love for God increases, this will be the spontaneous outcome. It will be going gradually in a higher level. Dignity for each other. That's why I always suggest that anyone getting married, when they come for a suggestion, or let me know, then I said that you take a paper, both of you sign documents here, that marriage, I respect you, you respect me. Dignity equal, no one is less, no one is high. And we will forget the minor tidbit things of life and make it a big deal. You may get angry, but pull down the anger quickly. Pay more attention to the purpose of your marriage, not to the... And see, every home is fighting because of the petty things. You said that, I said that, you did that, I did that, and there it ends. But why not? Why not put it a higher value? This will be there in a it said Khoti and Bati, no? If you take a saucer and a cup, you touch, it will make a tingling sound. Two people will be there, little bit this, that. But that should not overpower their love and affection and their regard and respect. And this is the Indian style of thinking, that highest purpose of this marriage is that union with the Lord. So, to take that note, because otherwise, normally a husband will dominate the wife, or wife will dominate the husband. No, it should not be. It should be equal respect, dignity. You pay dignity. Oh, you talk to her? How do you do that? And now, all the peace gone. And they see, you did that? I did that. So, these petty things to get out. So, respect should be there, love should be there so intense that this type of minimum thing will not affect. Anyhow, we are talking about the highest devotion. And your question is very correct. It is impossible to have that type of great ideal to manifest here. But it has been proven, it is possible, it is possible, it is even now it is going on. There are examples. I know of one lady, Holy Mother's disciple. They used to come. When I was a young boy, I used to go to Belur Math, the headquarters, maybe around 1920, in my age, earlier also, but I used to see one couple. They are holy, husband and wife, both are Holy Mother's disciple. And our President Maharaj, Bireshwarananda Maharaj, he was also very kind to them because he was also mother's disciple. So when they come, both of the husband and wife, those days Belur Math was not so many crowd, not much crowd, and they used to allow. So they come every morning, sit in front of the mother's temple, in early morning till about 8 o'clock. Evening time they come, they sit for meditation, pray there, and what a loving relationship. And I interviewed the wife of that, Tulsi Ma. You can find on YouTube an interview of Tulsi Ma. And I was interviewing that, suddenly. It happened to me. And I see how a simple lady, totally pure, and forgotten whole world. And they see, and how they lived with dignity and respect. We used to see that. It is possible. When the heart becomes pure, this will be the natural outcome. Selfishness is in the mind, no? And the mind, when identified with the body, and when identified with God, it will have a difference. Doctor said, "You are right, sir. I have seen people bowing down before the image of Kali. They seek worldly objects from the goddess, such as job, the healing of disease, and so forth." To the master, "The illness you are suffering from does not permit the patient to talk with people, but my case is an exception. You may talk with me when I am here." Do you get it? See, the doctor says, your throat condition is bad. Some Shampukur means last phase of his life is going on. After Shampukur, moved to Kashipur. And Kashipur was a short stay, and his body, he left the body. So he says, your throat condition is such, throat cancer, so don't talk. This is doctor's injunction. Don't talk. But he is making him talk for 4 hours, 3-4 hours. Then he said, you talk with me only when I come. Don't talk with anybody. So that's why everyone laughed. That is, what type of statement is this? Meditate, doctor. Meditation is enough for you, no, master. What do you mean? Why should I lead a monotonous life? I enjoy my fish in variety of dishes, curried fish, fried fish, pickled fish, and so forth. Sometimes I worship God with rituals. Sometimes I repeat His name. Sometimes I meditate on Him. Sometimes I sing His name and glories. Sometimes I dance in His name. This is also a great lesson. The Ramakrishna devotees should not be monotonous. Monotonous means all the time the same, dry. You see, Vedanta is not dry. Vedanta is the sweetest thing in life. But people sometimes do too much analytical thing, and their face becomes, this is not. This is not maybe one aspect. But that should give, this is not means when you say your face will shine. Because you mean what this is not and what is this. That's why Sri Ramakrishna said, I will enjoy spiritual life in all possible ways. Sometimes singing, sometimes dancing, sometimes chanting, sometimes meditating, sometimes reading something, listening to something, as I say, rituals. I'll do some ritual puja, offer some flower and do that puja. Sometimes I repeat His name, repetition of the mantra. Sometimes I meditate on Him. Sometimes I sing His name and glories. Sometimes I dance in His name. So, this is the Ramakrishna devotee. All the sadhus are really very joyful sadhus. Otherwise, go to only those who are devotees. They will be only enjoying singing and dancing only. And their spirituality will be considered how much they could jump up from the ground. Do you see that jump? If you go to Kirtan in India, in West Bengal, there are so many Kirtaniyas and dancers. And even that Chaitanya tradition has come to ISKCON. What is ISKCON means? Sri Chaitanya tradition. And Sri Chaitanya Dev used to sing and dance like Ramakrishna. But when they used to sing, sometimes they are so in bhava, in the mood, that what their dance is really a different dance. So people, we try to dance to bring the bhava, the mood, spiritual mood. They used to dance at the force of the mood, spiritual mood, the opposite. And that's nothing wrong. But our attention is lost in jumping. How many inches one is more jumping, he is a more spiritual person. But it should not be considered in that way. It should be considered how much you are intoxicating yourself. Your mind is getting into God consciousness. So that is the be in joy. That is the point. And there is one Swami, he used to come here and give a talk. His name is, what is his name? It's called the Mauj Me Raho. Mauj Me Raho. Always live in joy. Why should we spiritual? Swamiji, when he came here, Swami Vivekananda in this country, when he came, he was always making jokes and smiling, and our fathers, Christian fathers, they should not talk. They should not be lowering themselves down to the level. They are all spiritual people, should be always up. And Swami Vivekananda was criticized for that. And Swami Vivekananda says, I also become pale face or stern face when my stomach pain starts. But otherwise I am happy person. So spirituality should be happy. If your inner heart is full of joy, how your face will be sour? Your face sour means you are thinking sour here. That is the point to understand. So Sri Ramakrishna said, I sing, dance, eat. Ami khai dayar majaluti.
They say like that, a sad naan is a bad naan.
Oh, sad naan is a bad naan. But the main point is that God is joy. What is the proof? Honey is sweet. And someone gives a drop of honey in your tongue, and your face becomes... When you have to see, they have not given you the honey. They have given you some sour thing in the name of honey. But if it is honey, then as soon as it goes, your face will be smiling, no? Cheerful. So God's name is so joyful, so cheerful, so our face should be shining. That's why it's a very important point that we are progressing in spiritual life or not. There is a sign. Even I tell, I do not know whether it will be, but I believe that when you did a good meditation, whether the meditation was good, first of all you will feel that it's a blessed, you feel so much joy. Even if you don't find, go and stand before the mirror and look at your face. How you look, peaceful, how much joyful, how much peaceful, how much radiant is your face. It will. See, when you hear somebody tell some horror story, and you see your face automatically become strained, no? And when someone is very sweet and joyful, your face also shines like that. So this is another sign to be a good devotee. Always be in cheerfulness. God is joy. Satchidananda, we call Satchidananda. It is eternal bliss, eternal consciousness, eternal reality. It is the reality, it is all the time there, but it is full of bliss. It is not Buddha's idea, but the Buddhistic philosophy, all void, void, void. Void means you are vacant. Void means what? You look, is a vacant look. People say, no? Your look is vacant. That means you are looking and not looking anything, no? But no, you're seeing God, not seeing vacant, empty. Only expression maybe have different meaning, but now, Master, then Thakur like a child says, please cure my illness. I cannot chant the name and glories of God. Here is the point. he's telling the doctor, you are doctor, so you do, please cure my illness. Why? Because it is pain? No. Because I cannot chant the name and glories of God. This is an obstacle. It is becoming an obstacle. I cannot chant the name of Lord because of this. So for that purpose, cure it. See, everything is centered around a purpose, and purpose is God. Doctor, neither I am monotonous. Doctor also said, I am also not monotonous. I also accept all these different philosophies. Now Master Sri Ramakrishna says to the doctor, your son, Amrita, does not believe in the incarnation of God. What is the harm in that? One realizes God even if one believes Him to be formless. One also realizes God if one believes that God has a form. This is eternal struggle, no? In the West, when you talk about meditation, many people say, I don't like this form. Because it is a Judeo-Christian idea. God is nirakara, but saguna. He has no form, but he has the characteristic of compassion, love, holiness, purity, redemption, capacity, no? So, many people say, you're worshipping in the image. I don't like it. It's not my way. But I think of God, formless aspect. Ramakrishna said, okay, Baba, do. Your main thing is to nurture your body. What food suits, take that food. It's not stopping you from God realization. You like saguna, you take saguna sakara, avatara, in incarnation. Or you don't like, take then absolute Satchidananda in the form of ocean of light, ocean of bliss, ocean of consciousness. Take whatever. Meditate. That is the point. Think. Don't float. That's why, don't float on the surface. Dive deep. That's the song. Dub 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 shagore e amar mon. Tala tal patal khujle pabire pem ratna dhon. If you dive deep, you will get the jewel, greatest jewel underneath. The jewel of realization. The jewel of peace, no? But don't float on the surface. Dive deep, dive deep, dive deep, oh my mind. Famous song. So one also realizes God if one believes that God has form. Two things are necessary for realization of God. This is important. What is necessary? Faith and self-surrender. You have to believe that there is some reality. And if that reality is there, I should surrender to that higher power, the cosmic power. Always we do that. In our day-to-day life, what we do? Any problem comes, we go to the police. Why do you go to the police? It's a bigger power, state power. Therefore, asserting the rules and regulations to make the life of general people free from all this trouble of troublemakers, no? So, we surrender to the higher power all the time. When we need money, even we borrow. Borrow, you go to the bank. Not to the place where there is no money. So we go. So for all our difficulties, where to go? Go to God. Surrender there. I am nothing, you do whatever you like. That is Sri Ramakrishna saying. Two things. First of all, faith. There is the Lord for me. And I know, I don't feel, I cannot see, but He is there. And then let me surrender and let Him take care of everything. Man is ignorant by nature. Errors are natural to him. Can a 1-seer pot hold 4 seer of milk? Whatever path you may follow, you must pray to God with a restless heart. Only you cry with sincerity. Tell, oh Lord, I am trying, but I am not getting it. I try to meditate, but I cannot. My mind, I want to concentrate, I cannot. Huh? So the real, genuine statement or prayer should be to go with God. You may try, but no one has realized God by their own effort. No one. Yeah, even the greatest saints and sages surrendered themselves at the point. So, whatever path you may follow, you may pray to God with a restless heart. He is the ruler of the soul within. He will surely listen to your prayer if it is sincere. So he is giving guarantee that if you pray, he will listen. That also we should have faith. Sometimes we say, I prayed, nothing happening. That means nothing happening means what I want, it is not happening. Something is happening. As we go to our, when we were kids, we used to go to our mom and dad, ask whatever we like. But mom and dad does not give everything. If they give everything which is bad for me, that is not a mother's work. So God will not give. But I think I am telling and nothing happening. Okay, it is not, you are not, this is not the right time. It will happen in time. You will get, but you sincerely. But you know, Ramakrishna gave the example. If the child is arrogant, not arrogant, but crying and weeping and loitering, Mom, I'll have to give. No, no, no. Mom says, no, no, no. But with insistence, so much sincere, cry and weep, Mom says, okay, Baba, you get it. So Ramakrishna said, if one is sincere, it will happen. So if we really see that we want God, it will happen. Or even anything in life, it will happen. Because Ramakrishna said, you must pray to God with restlessness. He is the ruler of the soul within. He will surely listen to your prayer if it is sincere. Whether you follow the ideal of the personal God or that of the impersonal truth, you will realize God alone provided you are restless for Him. A cake with icing tastes sweet. A cake with icing tastes sweet, whether you can eat it straight or sideways. Give the example. You take a candy. You put the candy on the right side of your tongue. Yeah? It will taste same. Will it taste different if you put on the left side? Or beneath or up above the tongue? No. That means God is all sweetness, God is all love, God is all purity. So that is whether you impersonal aspect or the personal aspect matters little, but you only pray to God with all your heart and soul. Now doctor says, there is not a fellow under the... Dr. Ramakrishna said, Doctor's son, Amrita. He said, he's praising, Ramakrishna praising, your son Amrita is a nice boy. Doctor said, he is your disciple also. Ramakrishna said with a smile, there is not a fellow under the sun who is my disciple. On the contrary, I am everybody's disciple. All are the children of God. All are His servants. I too am a child of God. I too am His servant. Uncle Moose is every child's uncle. So God is for all. If we can pray, He says, surely He will listen, and we have to only there is a song, Ramakrishna used to sing that song. Dag dekhi mon dakar moto kemon shama thakte pare. How the mother Shama can stay if you call genuinely. You call and see what happens. That means calling upon God with all sincerity. That is the point. Not matters little which path you are following. You are loving Saguna aspect of God or Nirguna aspect of God, or you are following one path or the other. Love God, love God, love God. And that is the message today. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. So tomorrow will be Swami Sumana Sananda will be giving the class. What class? Bhakti Yoga Naki. Anyhow, it is already announced. So tomorrow at 7:30 to 8:30, Swami Shumona Sananda's talk. And today we have no other question, no?
One person is asking that if he lives in New Jersey and if he wants to come for a month to for the
That we write an email.
Hollywood and Vedanta.
They can go to the website
So you can tell them.
Any question from our present here? Yes.
Monday night had that film. One of the, I think it was the fellow that was a swimmer. He said that Om is the sound of the universe, and he played like a little sound clip. I've never heard a sound clip like that. Do you think that was real, or do you think that was just an example in that movie?
Very difficult to say. I think everything is real. In which sense? I am looking at you. Is it real? Well, yes. I am reading this book. Is it real? Yes. In this mental state, it is real. No. But if my mood changes, suppose here even someone is sitting whose mind is thinking of something else. So what we discussed, it have hit the eardrum, but he didn't hear anything. So those experiences are true for a particular level of mind. There is an eternal sound going on. The yogis, by that concentrated mind, they have experienced that. One of our, many Swamis, but at least one prominent name is Swami Shantananda. He was Holy Mother's disciple. And he used to listen constantly, the oh, constant going on. But one day, that old Swami, very senior Swami, so I entered to salute him, and he like a child, he was around very old that time, he was lying down, and he said, "Do you hear? Do you hear?" There is nothing to hear. Deep silence there everywhere. And in the morning of Belur Math, that time only the birds are chirping and some crows are making their crackling voice. But there is no one, and not a single visitor. I was in very early morning, young boy, I went to Math here and there. And I used to work as a volunteer, so the temple is open so everyone can come. But I could not. Then he said, "Don't you hear?" That oh going on. What shall I say? I was like that. And then this similar thing happened when the Swami who passed away in Portland, his name was Shanta Rupananda, our friend of our age group or our period. He has passed away because of cancer. So he used to go to this Swami for listening to reading gospel. And several times he asked, "Do you hear? Do you hear this voice?" But he is all the time continuously uninterrupted sound is going on. And our scripture also say, unstruck sound, anahata, no ahata, not buffeted by any obstacle or anything, no gap. So it is there, God knows. There is one question has come. What is the ideal of Jivan Mukti in Ramakrishna order, and how is it different from Advaita Jivan Mukti? Is there any classification like Brahmavid, Bhat, Varishta, etc.? These are eternal messages. Jivan Mukta is the same Jivan Mukta. There is no difference in Ramakrishna Jivan Mukta or Vedanta Jivan Mukta. It cannot be. Jivan Mukta means Jivan, while in life, Mukta means free. That person is free while living. Free means what? Not licensed to do whatever he likes. But free means free from all bondage of duality, bondage of suffering, seeing the diversity. All these obstacles are gone. He sees God everywhere. And true, Ramakrishna Jivan Mukti will be the same. and a monk in the Himalayas, Jivan Mukta will be the same. But their expression may be different. If it is a devotional tendency, a person who enters into Jivan Mukta, his expression will be all love, devotion more. And another person will be Vedantic way of talking. But they see the one thing, that a same God everywhere. So I don't think there is any distinction between Ramakrishna Jivan Mukta or Advaita Vedanta Jivan Mukta. Jivan Mukta is Jivan Mukta, a class by themselves. One point. Second point, is there any gradation of the Brahmagyanis? Yes. Brahma, just one can just get, once they touch the ground and come back. No. Suppose you can, my example will be very simple. You go to the ocean and you have a deep want to go. Just you plunge your whole body under the water. Are you bathed or not? Yes, you are bathed. Now you go 100 feet down. Your experience and the person whose head is just under the water will be the same? No. You go 1 mile down. What is the experience? You are taking it deep. That is a deeper expression coming, and that's a deeper experience. But these experiences are so long your mind is still functioning. Your mind dissolves, then who will experience what? But in Vedanta we have tradition that some people maybe just experience that Brahman awareness, some is little deeper, for a longer period they experience that, and much longer. Ramakrishna used to live in Nirvikalpa Samadhi for 24 hours. 6 months. There is no history in the world. Only Avatara can do that. Avatara, even other Avataras, we never heard this story. 6 months. When Nirvikalpa Samadhi happening, we are reading Holy Mother's life yesterday night in our night reading class. That Holy Mother used to live with Ramakrishna, but Ramakrishna is going to Samadhi for hours. He has lost his all sign of dead body. No breath, no pulse, nothing. And she was getting scared, what will happen now? That's exceptional to be in that consciousness of Absolute and merge there for half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours. It is only that type of great incarnations can do. And forget that, if others do, there are gradation of how much profound experience they can stay there, how long they can stay. That makes the distinction between Brahmavid, Bara, Bariyan, Varishta. Another question. What is the difference between God and pure consciousness? Does one has to be ultimately leave God also to be oneness? Then what is the surrender? Who do we surrender to in oneness? Your question gives the response to your question. Your question language gives the response to the reply. But what is the difference between God and pure consciousness? God is Saguna, one step down. Consciousness added with cosmic Maya becomes the Saguna Brahma. So when that Maya is totally gone, ego is totally gone, that is only Brahman. Brahman is the ultimate truth. But when you separate from that, then one step down, it is called Saguna Brahma. Now, the distinction between this is that absolute truth versus from absolute, the creation is coming out. The first step, that is the God idea. God means God definition, creator, sustainer, destroyer. All the thoughts, all the impulses come from Him. But God comes from where? God comes from Brahman. The Brahman with Maya called God. But Maya does not bind Him. Maya binds us. Because for God it is His power. Brahman with the power, that's why it is Shiva and Shakti. Brahman, Shiva. with the power manifesting as mother. And mother creates the whole universe. So that is the distinction between God and Brahman. And ultimately leave God also. Yes, you have to leave God also, to be one with Brahman. Because God is also God, word as you are saying, Saguna, it is within the limit, there is within the limit, fine trace of little ego is still there. That must have to collapse. Unless it collapses, you cannot say, I am that. And who will say, I am that? I is dead, that is dead. But why are you saying I am dead? Because we are fools. So the Mahapurushas, the great souls, after experiencing, when they come down, they teach us, hey, your I will merge into that I, big I. Your drop of water will merge into the ocean. What will be you? You are lost, you are dead. I am dead, but I am the ocean. But who will say I am the ocean? There is nobody to say, nobody to express, nobody to experience. So these are all beyond statement, beyond expression. So, and there is no question of surrender, right? Who will surrender to whom? Surrender to him means I am talking about my condition, where I don't think I am infinite, I am absolute. I think I am this Sarvadevananda with this limited capacity, with this limited body capacity, mental capacity, intellectual capacity. I am a little drop of water. Yes, I surrender to the cosmic reality which is infinite ocean. But that goes on. But when your drop merges into the ocean, who will surrender to whom? It is the same. So, surrender question comes before illumination, before your experience. And after surrender, you are that. Who will surrender to whom? That's why in the Upanishad, in the Vastavakra and other books, you say, I am Vishnu, I am, even in Viveka Chudamani, I am the Lord Vishnu, I am Lord Shiva, I am this, I am this. Hare, you are Shiva, you are a man talking like that, Shankara, this boy, and you are, I am Shiva, I am Narayana, I am this. That means they are not talking from the lower plane, they are talking from the bigger I, and that and giving an expression for fools like us to understand. Okay, so thank you all. Joma. So tomorrow, then Swami Sumanashanandaji at 7:30. Thank you for joining. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace.